Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Lucia's World, a world full of magic, a world full of love, a world full of light from the sky. Today, I have a message for you. Today's subject is how magnetism operates in our mind. Our mind holds mental elements, thoughts, feelings based on ignorance. Like, for example, desires, passions, longing, jealousy, envy, lust, etc. etc. It is said that a pristine mind is more susceptible to the worldly magnetic force as opposed to the mind that has already achieved clarity and had let go of illusory desires and egoistic sentiments. And how that we notice how is our mind working with these two principles. And also we have to remember that attraction and repulsion are also vibrations. Of course, one is low and the other is high. And magnetism operates in our mind in two modes, attraction and repulsion. In the space, when the mind is in the space of attraction, the person lives in unrighteousness, desire, urge, ignorance, delusion, and attachment. Repulsion is totally the opposite. The person lives in righteousness, indifference, wisdom, understanding, and detachment. And how a person can improve its life. First of all, the person has to realize that wants to make a change in his life. Otherwise, this person will be always in this lower vibration, like anybody else in the world once was in this lower vibration, until the person start learning or understanding what happened in our mind and what can we do to change this. It is true also that sometimes people have to hit bottom rock or rock bottom in order to change, to understand that a change has to be done. But it has to be in a voluntary way. Nobody has to put pressure. Nobody has to tell you, you have to make these changes. It is up to you. If you keep doing the same, always over and over, the same cycle, you're doing the same cycle over and over again, sometimes a person or people can realize they are stuck in a cycle, or it can be that they take these cycles of unrighteousness in a normal way, because it's the way they were living the whole time. And it's also true that people sometimes don't notice that they are living in this way, because they do exactly what other people is doing. They follow them, whatever they do. So they don't see the difference, and they think it's normal. And when something like this happens, it is when I said that the people have to really feel like, okay, it's enough. I don't want to suffer more. Because to live in this attraction, in the vibration of attraction, always leads to suffering, frustration, and disappointments. So the person has to really understand and accept, be resilient. Okay, I made a mistake and I need to get out of this. Maybe because I was thinking that it was the way I have to be living, the person said, it's enough. I didn't come to this world to suffer. I came to this world to discover myself, to understand about my mission on earth. It is in that way it has to be, the person has to be in a space of acceptance, embrace everything in a way that understanding that all what happened, it was only to learn a lesson. Maybe that way, it is a simple way or an easy way to accept all our mistakes, failures, if someone wants to call it this way. But if it is a lesson, it's something that we learn and help us to understand better ourselves and other people's behavior. Do we have to be angry for this? No. Because we create our life step by step, word by word, action by action. We do have to be resilient. We do have to accept that if the way this person was living and it was not bringing anything positive in its life, and it says, no, I want something different. I deserve better. I deserve a better life. Then is when a person starts thinking, how can I break this cycle of ignorance? When the person is at this point, it's more easy to realize and accept that the illusory reality that was living has to be or needs to be rejected. 100% rejected. And B, keep your heart with all the best you can hold. It's something that people still don't understand. Many people has achieved their goals, material goals, but their energy energy is stuck in that. Cannot be more elevated because there is something that they need to heal. It is the heart. Because what we hold in our heart is what we reflect or project in our mind. Therefore, it's so important to heal hearts around the world. That is also true. It is also true that the principle of attraction and repulsion can be applied to promote spiritual enlightenment. It is true. It is possible. And rather than worldly entanglements, it means that you, with this principle, attraction and repulsion, when you really understand how this works, then you will say, I prefer to embark on my journey of spiritual enlightenment and never, ever again be living in worldly entanglements that nobody wants to live there. Nobody wants to be suffering. Nobody wants to be having frustrations and disappointments. As humans, somehow we always get disappointed. But is that when a human being has to say, why I have to be disappointed by the actions of another person or people? I, as a person that know exactly how this works, I can tell you that when you reach that point, that you understand why people is behaving that way, your heart will never be destroyed. Your heart will never be destroyed, and your energy can reach higher points. That means that you are justifying the behavior or bad behavior or the lower nature actions of a person? No, of course not. And one thing has to be really very clear. When someone tries to hurt you, that person, sooner or later, will leave exactly what they wanted to do to you. They will. And you, without doing anything against this person or people. And sometimes you think you know the guy. Sometimes you think, oh, I really thought that I knew this person. Many people. And they come with this disappointment. But when you really know why people behave or say things like this, you don't get disappointed anymore. And if you do, it will be just for a few minutes, and you will say, listen, I don't have to keep any disappointments from anyone. I want to keep my peace of mind which is really important and really a treasure in your life. No matter what, like I always said, in times of chaos, you have to remain calm because God is not in the chaos. God is in your peace of mind. And that, when you really understand this, it doesn't matter if you're sick, if you have physical pain, you can reach your enlightenment. Because the enlightenment doesn't come from the outside. Like many people think, I eat healthy, I do tons of exercise, I look very good outside, and therefore I have to think that enlightenment comes to me just like that. First of all, let me tell you, eat healthy is good for you. Drink water, drink healthy juices. It is good, of course. But you can have all of that. But if you didn't heal your heart, you won't reach any enlightenment. I promise. You will not reach any enlightenment if you don't heal your heart. It's easy and just like that. Easy. You don't heal your heart, you don't reach enlightenment. I remember when God decided to talk to me, but knowing the way that many people think, God was in front of me and told me, this is gonna happen and you have to do this, or it shows like a ghost or something like many people think can be described as an angel. No, I will be lying if I say this. I have a better way. The way that God showed to me, it was really nice. I will never ever forget. Because I decided to listen. I decided to use my intuition. And that I really saw something, yes, I did. But it was not necessarily a person or an angel like it is described. But I saw a sign, a beautiful sign. Because I asked God, tell me, I remember exactly, I put my hand in my heart, I pressed and I was crying and I said, God, tell me, what should I do? Why these cycles are always repeating? I'm giving all, 100%. I do this, I work, even though I was sick, I was working the same. I was doing everything at home 100%, and taking care of my child and everything together. And I said, why I always come to frustration, disappointment, sadness, suffering? And I was open to hear God. He showed me the sign, and I start understanding what I had to do. But for that, we have to be resilient. We have to believe. We have to have faith. Many times in things that you don't see, for many people, but I can say, There are so many things in nature that with this security, I can tell you that there are things that for many people are not noticeable, they cannot see it, or the senses, the subtle senses, cannot perceive, but they are there. And they are beautiful things. And I'm proud to say that I saw them. And I never felt afraid. That's something that you have to understand. When it's something from God, you don't feel afraid. You don't feel afraid when you see things. That for many people is not something that you can perceive, or your eyes can perceive, or your subtle senses. But still there. What should I do to change these vibrations from attraction to repulsion? You have to learn to create boundaries. You have to learn to understand that always, when you do something, the extreme or something is always negative. And not to follow the crowd. And I always said, I came to this world to make a difference by all means. And when I come to give a message to the world, it's not just something that I have to do because I have to put something on internet and download a video. No, it's something that I have to be thinking, and I have to wait for God's guidance. Is this really what I want, or I should be talking about? And everything will come together, even though the pictures, the drawings, and then everything comes together. It's not like I have to follow exactly, I'm gonna show this today and tomorrow, because I am here to make sure people wakes up. To learn that people have to, in order to reach enlightenment, what are the steps they have to do? But first of all, they have to be the person to say, I am willing to change. This is not, I am doing this not by force, but it's voluntary. That's the first step. And then it will be easy when you start taking action. I noticed that I think this way. In certain situations, I say this, or I think this way, or I act this way. You have to be conscious of what you are doing, what you are saying, because with every word you say and everything you do, you are creating a new reality. That is easy. Sometimes it takes time, but it's not impossible. It is not impossible. You can do it. And I feel I'm a curious person. I like to observe. I like to hear. I see some videos. Something come randomly. And I see people trying to hurt other people by doing subliminal videos with negative messages. And I say, that people that is doing this, they should save those subliminal messages for themselves because they need it. But that's the way our people, the way they behave, the way they think, because they still don't understand that no all the things can be done their way. And never come against with someone that already talked to God, that already received the messages through the intuition. Never come against this person, because you will be surprised. You will be surprised. That person, when a person tells you, I know who you are, you better believe it. I know, are you this person? They are asking you because they already know. And you keep saying no. But that person already knows who you are and what are you doing. And the person that is living in a low vibration, in the space of unrighteousness, they will be very angry. They will say, no, you are crazy. But that person is triggered with the truth that you are telling them, because they feel triggered because you already know. You already know. And always pay attention to your intuition. In order to open your intuition, you have to heal your heart to be able to hear those celestial messages. It is important. That is the way that God can contact us and send us messages so we can take action. And intuition was part of a human being for thousands of years ago. But that was disappearing with the time, because people start thinking, stop having faith, stop thinking they can be able to communicate with God, because they chose to live in a more human way, without principles, without spiritual principles. Because it was more easy. Because it doesn't take time, it doesn't take more energy. For them, they think to say always yes or be a people pleaser is normal. However, when you apply repulsion in your life and you embrace righteousness, indifference, wisdom, understanding, and detachment, then you understand that that's the way that you can live better, and that's the way you will break the cycle of attraction. But in order to be in this space of repulsion, you really have to use your wisdom. You have to think 10 times before you do something or you say something. That as humans, maybe we can get, as I said before, a little bit disappointed with the behavior of other people that you thought they were already awake. Because something that you have to understand, never judge God's action. Never. If God is doing something, it's because he wants to prove something. He wants to know something. But that is life, and if we all work together, we help more people to wake up. Then the world can change. Not only for us, but for our future generations. We have to stop being selfish and thinking just we are the only ones here. No, there are many children, babies, they just were born, and they deserve a better world to live in. We all deserve to live in peace. Go to sleep without thinking that a bomb can destroy the country or the city where you live. We don't want that for our children. We don't want that for our families. So people have to stop living in that mode of attraction and start embracing repulsion. The mode of repulsion. I really, in my mind, I always create something different. And that is my goal. I wish I brought a little bit of light into your life, and I send you a kiss full of love and full of light from the star. Bye-bye.